Our past is the lockless key to our freedom, and Mag is ready to unshackle from the heavy burdens of unrealized potential. After a long journey, this forgotten top contender aims to break new ground as the Overwatch League trots into its 6th season. Since graduating as the top prospect from the 2021 rookie class, the new spearhead of the Seoul Infernal has something to prove. 3 times shy of leaving a footprint within the Overwatch League, Mag looks to strike pay dirt as he returns home. Can he prove his freshman performance was not just a flash in the pan? Will he reclaim his seat at the bar of tank aces? Or has Mag ordered his final round at the last chance saloon? Before Mag was an Overwatch League staple, sharp-eyed fans would remember one of Mag's first forays on the main stage was alongside a Chinese team. Rough and tumble, Legend Young Beyond was a ragtag group of plucky players chasing the dream of a gold rush. Among them, Mag was a fairly innocuous name, and his play didn't help to dispel that myth. After being sidelined until week 4 of Overwatch Contenders China in 2018, Mag's entrance couldn't shake their fate. Mechanically, the team had stars, but cohesion? That was about as absent as a gambler's luck at a rigged poker table. Following his brief excursion in China, Mag returned home to play under GC Busam Lucia. And while initial hopes were high, Mag was swept by the eventual champions Go and Water S in the quarterfinals. However, Mag's flexibility and playmaking prowess continue to garner attention. Soon, Mag would find himself shoulder to shoulder with some of the best talent in the world. RunAway wasn't a stepping stone for talent in Overwatch. They were positioning themselves to be the talent forge. Molded in the legend that was Ocean's Apex, RunAway was a spawning pool of talent. In kind, Mag assisted RunAway as they cemented themselves as a top team throughout 2019 and 2020. It was in the familiar shade of pink that Mag found his place. Aggressive, flexible, with the ability to make plays and clutch fights from a position that seldom gave tanks the possibility to. Mag was a unicorn in all senses of the word. As success found him, so too did expectation. From one of the greatest teams in history of the game, soon Mag's journey would converge onto the greatest stage of them all. 2021 would see Mag journey west to join the Washington Justice as one of the rookie prospects to watch. His arrival in the Overwatch League was a marker for success. Early projections had the Justice performing not just well, but within striking distance of a playoff run. The roster had palpable talent. Mag was a frontrunner for the Rookie of the Year award. All lights were green for Washington. But the record was impressive, like a baptism of sand. Their results were rough. For a team that housed former champions, MVP nominees, and one of the best new tanks on the market, the Justice panned outside of the playoff picture. Window shopping and left wanting, the Justice were relegated to qualified through the play-in tournament. There, Mag and the Justice narrowly reverse-swept the Houston Outlaws to earn themselves just another breath before quickly exiting the 2021 Overwatch League playoffs. The year that followed was a mixed bag. Mag and the Justice seemed to finish their trek from the hills, buckets filled with not just goals, but primarily hope. This was a franchise that desperately needed some momentum, and Mag was that breeze that they had been waiting for. Strong performances against the likes of Atlanta Reign and a narrow Game 5 loss against the San Francisco Shock seemed to spell out their future. This was a team that had their wits about them, that learned the hills and conquered the rush. Yet all they struck was fool's gold. Like dynamite with a wicks at their ends, the honeymoon just couldn't last. The Justice settled back into the lower middle end of the table. And that summer, surprisingly enough, Mag soon found himself northbound. After another narrow map 5 loss to San Francisco and a decisive victory over the Paris Eternal, it was announced that Mag would be traded to the Boston Uprising. And sadly, that didn't add much of a better outcome. With the Uprising's frank underperformance, facing their own internal struggles and staring down the barrel of a structural change in 2023, Mag's destiny is likely to never lay roots in Boston. With another season simply written off, questions, asterisks, and doubt now surround the discourse around the once thought prodigy. Now, Mag's return home to the Seoul Infernal bleeds vindication. The hours spent improving, or his journey here, the chance to correct the record. Since 2020, he has not been the player that was promised. But now, Mag gets to start fresh. Our past is the lockless key to our freedom, and Mag is done trying to find its home. Like a traveler with no name, once that plane touches down in Seoul, South Korea, he gets to decide who he is from here on out. Only today matters. This year, this season. The Last Chance Saloon is just a simple stop before the unknown. No bias or leading questions, Your Honor, but it is a gamble of perception. Question is, which side of the coin do you fancy? Heads asks if this is Mag's last shot at a meaningful footprint in the Overwatch League. Tails wonders if this new chapter is one of rebirth and potential realized. And as day breaks on the 2023 Overwatch League season, Mag's stuck with a harsh reality. You can hitch your horse, but you can't hitch the sun. So Mag, what's your call?